What up, everybody? What's up? What up, Dank? Why me? What's up? What's up? What's up? Seth, what up? Tim, what up? I'll tap you in right now, Dank. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you sending me that link. What the fuck? I just spilled my whole cup of water. Cooks, I'm trying to get you in, but it doesn't want to let me let you in. Hold on. Let me send you the invitation. Oh, there we go.
Yo.
We're here?
Bam.
There we go. We're here. There you go. My phone's acting dumb, dog.
Oh, okay. I see what's going on.
Nah.
You all right, though?
I'm too careful with the drink, why me? That can never spill.
Yo. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Five Brims, what up?
I'm going to invite Dank, okay?
Okay. Let me throw my dank on then.
There you go. What's up, boss?
What up?
Salute, Dankadelic.
What's going on, guys?
Let some people tap in. Capologist, what up? What's up, Desktop? What's up, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get started. So I'm Chef and Brims. We got the homie cookz24. We're doing a live podcast with our special guest, Dankadelic. Shout out to you, boss. Thank you for joining us. I'm very appreciative of having you join us today. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course.
So we want to start by asking you, who is Dankadelic?
Shit, man. Just an artist. You know, at the end of the day, that's it.
An artist, a designer, and a creator, you know?
Yeah.
And a creator for all of us. If you guys don't know Dankadelic, he does designs for Clink Room. He's done designs for Hat Club. He's all over the place. You know, cookz24 is wearing one of his fitteds right now that he created. So shout out to you for all the things you've dropped. And he also has a website. It's Black Hill, correct?
Yeah. Black Hill, no A, BLCKHILL.
Make sure you guys tap in to his website. He's got some pins on there. And anytime you guys see that, let's see the Batterman Cooks. Anytime you guys see that, you know, make sure you guys be on the lookout. He drops fire hats.
This was my favorite. I had to have this hat right here. I had to.
Go ahead, Cooks.
So, Mr. Dankadelic, I am cookz24podcast. I am the other half of this team, me and Chef and Brims. And sir, first I'd just like to say, you know, salute to you for what you do, how you do it. You know what I mean? I know it took work, effort, time to get to this point where you're at now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, first question I would like to ask you, sir, is, you know what I'm saying, because I did my homework on you also. You know what I'm saying? Google, looked up, checked out the online stuff and all that. And how long have you been an artist? You know what I'm saying? Like, where does that stem from?
Man, I've been drawing since I was a little kid. I can't even remember, you know, I mean, I have drawings that I have from like when I was 4 and 5 years old. So, you know, ever since I can remember, I've been drawing.
Mm-hmm. Is it always been like a passion of yours?
Always.
Can you, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, it's changed over the years, right? But it's always been pretty much the same thing. I mean, um, you know, I've been drawing since I was a little kid. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then it turned into, you know, graffiti and doing that. And then, you know, like I think most graffiti artists, they kind of turn into something else, right? So in this instance, this is my thing. I mean, I have a lot of friends that, you know, ex graffiti artists that they do something that has to do with art. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
may not be directly art, but it's art in some form, right? Like I know a dude that's a chef now. That's his art. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's always evolving, it's always transformed, and it's always been a part of my life.
Okay.
Dink new hat drop is fire. What did you just release,
Uh,
Dink?
so I dropped these.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So these are
And
Yeah.
this is on the Black Hill label. So these are not new era. You know, I don't try to front and say they're new era. They're not. Um, but they're mine. And I did a lot of research. There's the logo for the company, and
Mm.
you know they're legit fitted hats, man. I mean, they got my logo inside. They're all sized. You know, everything about them is legit.
is that a brown sweatband?
Yeah, so that's gonna be the trademark of the hats is just brown sweatbands.
That's fire. That's
Yeah.
I've
fire.
been waiting for that. Been waiting for that. I've been waiting for that.
Um. So what? Growing up as an artist, you know, you got into graffiti. How did you turn that into creating fitteds? What got you into the fitted hat lifestyle?
So it was by circumstance, really. I mean, back in like 2013, 2014, somewhere around there, I was at work and this guy walked in with a minor league baseball hat. And it was the Flying Squirrels. I don't know if you guys have seen that logo. It's an old logo. I'd have to look it up, but he had a Flying Squirrels hat. And I was like, that's crazy. Where'd you get that hat? Right. I mean, that was the first thing that caught my attention. Never seen anything like that before. So he was like, oh, there's this website. It's called the Clink Room. So I was like, okay, you know, and at work, I was like, oh, I'm going to just check it out. I mean, I'm in IT right now. It's like my regular job. But so that's what I was doing back then. So I checked out the website and I saw that, like all the custom hats that they did, right? So this is back, like I said, 2013, 2014. And then, you know, going into the site, they had contests of, you know, a hat designing contest, basically, kind of like what they do now. But back then, I mean, there was a lot less people involved, and the designs were a lot harder to get approved, right? Like they had to be really different. So I submitted, shit, man, I don't know, probably like 6 to 8 designs. Um, and it wasn't until the end when they were getting ready to close Clink that 2 of my designs got selected, which were the Aslan All Stars, which is the Aztec swing and the Makwawit, and then
Yeah,
the Skinwalkers, which is like the little person inside of the wolf's head, right? So
that
those
was
are
2014, correct?
yeah, end of 2014, beginning of 2015.
Okay.
So
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, you're good. So, you know, I did that. The hats got produced. I still have the originals that were released through Clink Room, and you know, after Clink closed, they went and started Brandios, which is their minor league baseball, where they design all those things. So they stopped the contest. So in 2019, Dionic hit me up, right?
All right.
and he's like, "Hey, you remember the design you did back in 2014?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, Hat Club's getting ready to release it again, and they want to get a hold of you, and they want you to, they want to send you a hat, basically, right?"
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Cool." So, I got in touch with T800 John.
Oh yeah.
Hat Club, and he got all my information to send me the hat, and then I asked him straight up. I was like, "Hey, what do I got to do to start designing hats? Like, are you guys doing this?" And then he explained the design collective and all that stuff. So he sent me the contract and everything to look over, and it took about 2 or 3 months for me to sign the contract, right? And then it took another couple of months for me to decide what I wanted to design. And the hat was the Rain God. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but the Rain God that was the first Hat Club like legit release that was original, it was brand new, that I designed, and it just went from there. I mean, after the Rain God, it just took off.
Okay.
Go ahead.
While we on the designs, like I said, I did my homework. The Arizona Copperheads logo.
Yes.
You got a special dedication behind that logo. Would you mind elaborating on that a little bit? Because I felt that.
Yeah. So I'll give you a little bit of background on that one. So,
Okay.
and then I'll explain where the meaning came from, right? So, that was actually submitted to Clink 1.0 back in 2014, and it didn't get picked. So, time went on. I mean, I have all my designs, right? So when the Hat Club did the hockey league again, we were given all these cities and states to basically design logos for. And so I was like, okay, the first state I got was Arizona, or it was Phoenix, really, the city. So I decided to switch it to Arizona because I'm originally from Tucson. I live in Phoenix now, but I'm originally from Tucson, Arizona, which is like 2 hours south. But the meaning behind it is my grandfather, who I was raised by my grandparents. My grandfather was a copper miner. So when he left, when he came back from World War II, he ended up working at the mines. There's a lot of copper in Arizona. So the hat dedication to just like my respect to him. So that's where you see the miner. It has the copper helmet, and that's it. That's probably one of the most meaningful hats for me. I mean, my grandfather passed away in 2007, so the minute that I got the opportunity to release it, I did.
Okay. I like that. I like that. Caught my attention when I was reading in the article on your online thing when you press the link.
Yeah.
You got your abouts and all that. So I had to check that out because the most I know about you is Dankadelic. Like I love that name, Dankadelic. Like ain't nobody touching my Dankadelic. Like don't touch my Dankadelic. I love that. You know what I mean? So yes, sir. It's on you, Shell.
Okay. So ST Hat Guy also asked this question right now, which we were gonna bring up. A lot of your designs have to do with Latin America heritage. Latin heritage, not Latin America, Latin heritage. Latin, he said motifs. What makes you, really gives you your design? Like, what do you base your designs off of? Certain, like, what type of certain Latin designs do you base your hats off of?
So it's all right now. It's mainly off of the Mexica, the Aztecs, and it's I think growing up in the Southwest or even California. I mean, you're really exposed to that part of the culture. I'm Mexican, so it's really to me, it's really important for me to kind of pay homage to my ancestry, my roots, and yeah, everything I try to do, like it's always with that in mind. And I'm aware there's other cultures within Mexico. There's obviously Native American cultures in the United States and Canada, but that's kind of just where I what I relate to. So, that's kind of like just been my thing from the beginning. I mean, like I said, when the Aslan All Stars was released, that was a nod to that. The Skinwalkers was actually a nod to the Navajo in northern Arizona, and that's why I designed that one. So I always try to incorporate that in there.
Go ahead,
Okay.
Cooks.
I seen somebody had said in the comment, and this is actually one of my questions I want to ask you. The Jag Warrior. Let's get to it.
Yeah.
Mexico Warriors. Did I say that right?
Yeah, well,
Um,
they call Aztecs. I mean, that's
okay. And from what the definition was saying in the context is elite class, strength, honor. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So what was like? I guess what I'm trying to say is, what was that light bulb when you came up with this right here? You know what I'm saying? Or was it something that you've been thinking about doing?
No, it was kind of. I mean, it was kind of off the just. I did it. I think when I look for things to design, I'm looking at things that I'm familiar with. I read a lot about Native Americans, Native Mexicans, and the tribes down there. One of the things that was really intriguing in that hat was, so there's different classes, right, of warriors in the army, the Mexica armies, right? So the Aslan All-Star is actually an eagle warrior. This one's a jaguar warrior. And you went up in ranks, that's when you were basically knighted, right? I mean, for lack of a better term. So it was just one thing that I said, you know what, I really want to do that. I had the idea in my head, and I just started sketching it, and it just kind of came from there, and it just evolved.
Okay. Cause it's a very popular. I feel like it's a real popular hat. You know what I mean? And cause I remember when it came out, it wasn't easy to get. You know what I'm saying? But luckily, I had the early alert to go ahead and grab one. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? And also, I just want to slide this in right quick. Dankadelic is the originator.
Yep.
I see that on a lot of the posts. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was to ask you what you mean by that, what you would say?
So outside of like college teams, I think you have the San Diego State Aztecs, right? That rolled with the logo. I think the reason I say that is because I'm the first one to do it with the actual love for the culture. It's not a mascot to me, and
Yes, sir.
I think that comes from like I mean, that hat was released in 2015. It was released in 2015. The design was approved in 2014. Who else that does any Native Americas, right? Who else that does that style now? Who can say that they were doing it back almost 10 years ago?
Good point.
So, that's why I'm
Good point.
the originator.
Okay.
I got a question. I believe you just answered that, but Kid Got Fit has asked, what made you choose Aztec Warrior and the design? And two, where can I get this fitted? Pretty much.
So, it's just like the designs just come. I mean, I have a whole bunch of drawings, and there's so many other ones. And I saw who's my favorite Aztec god. I don't have one. I like them all. I don't. There's not one that I'm like, oh, I prefer this one over that one. They all have like these really in-depth stories, right? So they're all special in some kind of way. And as far as where can you get them right now, nowhere. I mean, unless you find it, you can find it on eBay. I think somebody might have one for sale. But my plan is on my label, on the Black Hill label. I'm gonna rerun all my designs again eventually.
Like seeing your hats, your designs come out with big stores. Like, do you do any other? Do you make designs for any other stores besides when you did for Hat Club and for Clink Room?
No, Hat Club was the only ones that I had done the designs for. And, you know, I thought about, before I came up with Black Hill, I thought about going the route of, you know, kind of like what the capologists do and what
Yeah.
like Native Fanatic, Dionic go through the new era, you know, way. I decided that wasn't for me. I don't want to have to get approval from anybody to run a design that I want to run. And, you know, you run into the new era because they want to make sure, one, it's not offensive, two, that, you know, it's going to fit within their guidelines, and I don't want any restrictions on what I do.
Okay. I've seen one of your posts, caught my attention. I would like to know more about it because it's something that you brought to my attention. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
And I feel like within the world, you know what I'm saying, within the world that we live in, sometimes you miss important subjects because you're looking at stuff that is just getting broadcasted. But your movement and the purpose behind protect our RAZA, how you say that? The vendors.
Rasa?
Rasas. So school me on that because I'm trying to learn more about that the culture. You know what I'm saying? So school me on that so I can school people on what's going on.
So, you know, it's kind of a touchy subject. I mean, to be honest with you.
Understood.
You know, in California specifically, but a little bit in Arizona, not so much out here, but in California, I'm a very political person, right? I believe that people of color were really misrepresented, you know, not just black people, everybody that is not your typical white Anglo-Saxon person, right?
Right.
And I think that sometimes the powers that be keep us divided so that we can't be stronger, right? We can't support one another. We can't create the financial stability that our people need to be successful, right? So I don't know, God, it started a few years ago, but there was where the street vendors in California were getting attacked and robbed, and you know, unfortunately, it was predominantly done by, you know, young African American males, and you know, it was perpetuating violence between the two cultures. The protect our raza was more about like being vigilant, right? Making sure that they're safe out there, because not everybody had those views about street vendors, right? It was a small group of people that were preying on them, and it wasn't just black people that were preying on them. There was other Mexicans that were preying on them as well. I mean, there's videos all over the internet if you go look at it, right? And it was
Right.
protecting our own. One of the people that I follow like on Instagram very closely and just on everything is Killer Mike, the rapper from Atlanta. And one of the things I look to him about is just how he is about the black community, right? And he wants to do whatever he can to uplift his people because it's important that we have a voice. And I want to be that person for Mexican American people, or just Mexican people in general, and not just Mexicans, all people from south of the border, even Native Americans here and in Canada. I think super underrepresented, right? But we're powerful together. We all have beautiful cultures, and it's just not talked about enough. You only see the negative about things, and I want to change that.
Gotcha. Understood. We'll protect our Roswells. I'm definitely a positive vibe type person, and I'm against anything that hurts people, business. You know, I mean, common sense said, just mind your business, keep your hands, feet, and objects to yourself. We learned that when we were little bitty boys and girls. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely with the movement, man, and I'm glad that you told me more about it. So now I know, you know what I mean? And I definitely I definitely speak and support, but I'm with you on that. I definitely feel that. So thank you for explaining that to me. Don't you, Chef?
Okay. So by you being really into me and Cooks were talking about this yesterday. You really being into your heritage and really being how would I say you for the community, you know, you're for your local community, the Rasa community. Um, do you? I believe Cook was going to ask this. Do you ever run into problems when creating a fitted that would have to be like creating a design on a hat where sometimes we can't wear certain logos. Do you ever run into a problem where people are like, "Oh, that logo means this or this logo means that"?
Nah,
Like in a
so
if a,
I haven't, but so when I release a design, right, whether it was on Hat Club or whether it was on now Black Hill, um, I do a lot of research on it. So I try to make sure that I'm covering um, all aspects of it, right? Because there's a fine line. You can be offensive to certain people. So, and as an example, have you guys seen so when Hat Club did the hockey league, did you guys see this Philadelphia Originals hat, the one with the turtle?
Yeah.
the one you made, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Turtle Island. Turtle Island.
Turtle
yeah,
Island.
exactly. So like when I design that, it's in representation of the Lenape people of Philadelphia, like they're Pennsylvania, Delaware, right? So when I thought to do that design, I did a bunch of research. Like their name actually means the original people, which is why I called the hat the Originals. The colors that were used on the hat are part of their flag, right? The turtle is Turtle Island, but they use that as a representation for their tribe. So, when I designed that hat, I took all those things into consideration because I didn't want to just design a Native American logo, you know what I mean? Because you've seen Chief Wahoo. Those things are offensive to certain people. Some people say they're not, but, it doesn't matter. If it offends one person, you have to take that into consideration, right? So I did a lot of research on that tribe because I didn't want to offend them. I tried actually reaching out to them before I submitted the design of Hat Club. Unfortunately, they didn't reach back out, and I'm sure they're busy or whatever. So I released a hat, but it wasn't an offensive design, right? It was meant to like pay homage to them. So answer your question, that's what I try to do. I try to make sure that I do my research, I do my due diligence before I just design something and put it out on a hat.
Okay. Cool. Chef, I don't know. I don't think you answered the question. I don't know how many times you can ask it, but how did you create the name Dankadelic? How did you put that together?
So, I'm probably going to show my age, man, but so my name from writing, graffiti was Dank.
Okay.
My name from my neighborhood is Dank. So when it came time for, Instagram and when I finally joined, I don't even remember when that was now, but I love funk music,
Yeah.
funkadelic. So
Yeah.
the funkadelic name, and I just added Dank to it. And it's funny because I wanted to spell the name Dankadelic with the C at the end, but somebody has that on Instagram, so I changed it to the K. So that's why it's a K instead of a C. But I love Parliament Funkadelic, man. So that's why I chose that name.
So you an 80s baby?
I'm I'm a '70s baby, man. I was born in '74.
Okay. Okay, I'm right behind you. 1980. I'm right behind you. Yeah, I'm right behind
Like I think he smokes a lot of weed back in the day.
you.
I did that too. Yeah, that's where the name came from.
It's on you, Chef. It's on me.
Uh, um, I think it's we'll ask one of the questions one of the guys got in the comments. He
Let's
asked,
go.
would you ever make an Aztec calendar side patch?
Probably not. Just because it's one of the icons that's used a lot, right? I mean, it's used in pretty much everything. When you think of the Aztecs, you think of that sunstone, right?
Yeah.
I try to do things that are a little bit different. So yeah, I probably won't do it.
Would you ever
Okay.
think about putting side patches on your hats?
So yes, and there's a reason I haven't released a hat yet, so I can't go into a lot of detail right now because I want to release the hat before I give anybody else any ideas of what I'm doing. But yeah, so there's a story behind one of the logos that's going to come out. So it's not going to be a side patch per se, but it is going to have the design on the side that coincides with the story
Of the fitted.
actual logo. So, you know, I'll have to do a lot of explaining for that because it's going to go over a lot of people's heads. But, you know, I mean, when I put, like I said, when I put out a design, there's a lot of thought behind it.
Okay.
But cool.
Once again, go back to your passage. I read that you said you started to appreciate yourself and your Mexican culture at a certain point.
Mm-hmm.
Without having to dig so deep and just stick on the outside, what did you learn and what did you learn and what did you see that you held on to?
You know, when I was little, you know, when I was in elementary school and stuff, everybody was Mexican. So I never really put two and two together, right? Like everybody was like me. So it didn't seem weird. I never put any thought into it until I was probably in like 7th and 8th grade. And I was getting bused to a different school for junior high. And it was mainly white kids, right? So I think at that point is when I kind of like being more interested in the culture itself, and then, you know, trying to do my research on my own, you know, going to the library, picking up books, just reading stuff. You know, there was no internet like back then, so everything was library and books, or, you know, ordering books on, you know, over the telephone. Like I'll show you one of them because it's pretty crazy. Let me see if I have.
Okay.
So this one was released, I don't know, I had to be like maybe 18 years, maybe 16 years old, but this is one of the books, and it's from Time Life. I don't know if you guys remember Time Life. If you remember those commercials.
I do.
If you do, you're dating yourself like me. But anyway, this book was like, you could order all these books off of like history. I don't even remember when this book came out, but that's kind of like the introduction, right? I'm trying to see what year this was published, but I don't even see it anymore. I'd have to do a little bit more research. But yeah, so that's how I was able to, you know, kind of get some information on just like the Aztecs and that kind of stuff. And like I said, man, it evolved. It just, over time, it's gotten a little bit more intense. And with the internet, it just things. I mean, I try to get less information off the internet and more information off books still.
Okay. Let me squeeze this in. I gotta ask this question. And the only reason I'm asking because, you know what I'm saying, the era you come from, era I come from, and then as we get older, we find out stuff. So, like when it comes to when it comes to the Mexican culture and then the black culture, like there was a point in time where we found out that our books in school wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same thing? Is it the same thing for Brown Pride too?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. I just think
they don't tell us our history because history is power.
Gotcha. Okay. You sure?
All right. As a young kid growing up, who kind of put who was one of your role models growing up to kind of really influence you on I mean, of course, Mexican grandparents, you know, all Hispanic, but who was the one who really kind of put the all that into not into your head, but like who used to like rock it when you were younger, you know, like somebody must have been not preaching, but like someone must have influenced you onto really be into your culture. If I'm making sense.
Yeah, you do. Like I said, I mean, I think just growing up and being Mexican and growing up in the south side of Tucson, right? And everybody that's around you is kind of the same. I don't think it was like one person that was like, oh, hey, I'm going to show you how this is, right? I think at some point there was just an awakening. Like,
Yeah.
This is our culture. And to be honest with you, I think one of the things that really got me involved in finding out more about like the history of Mexico was actually the autobiography of Malcolm X. When I read that book, that's kind of what changed everything for me, because if you haven't read it, anybody that's watching, I suggest reading it, because it shows you what is lost in the past, right? Like, you're not really sure, you don't know what's going on or whatever. And that book really opened my eyes to like needing to have a sense of figuring out what was going on with who I am. You know what I mean? So, yeah, autobiography of Malcolm X, I think, was the book that like just set it off for me. And I read that when I was in ninth grade.
Wow.
I have one more thing to fit in there. Do you try to pass on your influence of your culture, of Mexican culture? Do you try to pass that on to the younger generation?
Absolutely.
Maybe nephews and cousins and things like that.
Absolutely. I have 3 kids. My oldest is 29 and my youngest is 18. And since they were little, I've always made them aware of who they are and what they come from, right? Because knowledge of self is important. And you can be successful, but you need to know where you come from and who you are. So yeah. It doesn't matter, if you're poor, if you're rich, if you're in between, you should always know who you are. And I think it's really important. That's something that I've stressed with my kids completely. They have to be proud, because if you're not proud and if you don't have knowledge of self, and I keep kind of preaching this, and that's my son right there that you just pinned. If you don't, then it's easy to tear it down, right? It's easy to get torn down, because if you don't know who you are, you're not going to be what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Word up.
Feel that.
And to follow up on that, Mr. Dankadelic, you got another statement posted I seen that you posted that also touched me, and I can hear my granddaddy telling me this. No, not that your granddad. I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about. My blood is as ancient as the earth I stand upon.
Yep.
I pre-exist America. For people that don't understand that, which I believe you do, could you elaborate on that?
Yeah, we were here. It's easy to say, hey, it's America, and it's built off of the Pilgrims coming, the Spanish coming, Christopher Columbus coming. We were here before all of them were here.
Yes.
So, just like that people of Africa, black people that originate from Africa, you were there before anybody else was there. You were not discovered. They can't discover something that already existed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. You said it best. On you, Shell.
Have you won any awards for your art?
No, but I don't really submit anything for that.
I wanted to ask because me and Cooks were doing our homework, and our homework about you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We were checking your page, and I see that you draw a lot, and I was just wondering, because I have a few family members who submit their art, so I was wondering if you ever submit your art. You should, man. You should. For fun. It's why don't you do that?
I've never put thought into that. You know what I mean? Like, everything I do kind of for self. And that's kind of like when I design a hat. it's selfish because it's what I want to wear. I don't really
Yeah.
take anybody else's opinion into what they think is right or what they think is cool. You know, it's like if I want to rock it because nobody else has it, that's how I design something. And that's why you see like some of the stuff that's come out, right? That's native based, like the Jag Warrior hat or the Rain God hat, the revolutionary hat set that were released through Hat Club. Like those are all designs that I'd want to wear. The hat that I released on Black Hill, that's a design that I wanted to wear.
Yeah. I have one more thing. How do you think with your designs, how do you think we can reach out more to the Mexican community and have them understand the reason you create that logo for the fitted? Is there any way you think we could? Because like nowadays, it's like all about hype, right? A lot of kids forget about our Mexican heritage.
Yep.
You know, how we can push the envelope and really reach out to the raza.
I think it's important to do things like this, right? Like social media is where everybody's at right now, you know, and you know, I always say right now, you know, I think on the Black Hill page, I only have a little over 300 followers, right? So it's not as quote unquote popular as like Hat Club or the New Era or whatever, but I think just the exposure of being able, you know, even if you have a small audience, it's important because one or two people that are watching that can be like, hey, I'm going to check that out. You know what I mean? And then it just will eventually spread word of mouth. And I think for me, I mean, it would be great to go on some big platform, right? And then have 10,000 people watching it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, that's not more important than coming on a show like yours where, you know, there may be only 20 people at a time watching it or 30 people or just hopping in and off and catching tidbits, right? But that's what's important to me because these are real people watching these videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's hard fighting the hype right now that's going on. I mean, you know, I'm a part of the FHS community on Facebook. I'm a part of the Fitted Mafia and Fitted Culture, you know, Facebook. And man, sometimes some of those, like people paying $700 for a resale hat, like I get it. It's your hype. That's cool. But I ain't doing that, man. Like I would rather take that money and make it towards a house payment or, you know, have something that's really going to mean something at some point. And I'm not saying like, don't get me wrong. I've paid my fair share for like Jordans and shit like that. I don't ever pay resale. I pay if I can't get it on retail, I'm not gonna get it because I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? That's gonna be like, oh, $400 for this. Nah, I'm not gonna do that. But it's hard fighting like me being a small designer with this really small label. I can't compete with the hype. I think at some point it's gonna tip back over to where like the design collective, you know. My hats, I think when I released the Rain God, it sold out in like 3 minutes. So, you know,
I'm
great.
sorry. When I first joined the community, it was about a year ago. Actually, it was actually a year ago. This April 4th, I've been in this community here. Clink Room, Design Collectives. Every time I hopped onto somebody's live, like I'm pretty sure you're familiar with Paco and Paco Nut, Blaze Rock, and all them.
So,
And Hat Junkie. They always talk about the design collectives. They always talk Dankadelic, always talking about Clink Room, always talking about others as well. You guys were some of the topics always because of your guys' hats dropping with Hat Club still. And so like they kind of, Hat Club should still be dropping collective designers hats, but I really feel like they kind of dropped the ball when they didn't promote you guys for that hockey league.
Yeah.
That's where they messed up by not promoting you guys.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they kind of dropped us at all of a sudden. They give us this project for the hockey league, and man, I had a ton of designs submitted to them, and they just and you can go on my Insta on the Dinkadelic Instagram and see some of the designs that were submitted to them that never got produced. Um, so yeah, that kind of sucked that they just kind of dropped us, and I have respect for everybody over at Hat Club. Don't get me wrong. Like I appreciate them and I appreciate that they put me on. Um, but at the same time, man, like they went 100% in on hype and just left us all out there to figure out, what we were gonna do.
I really still see you guys' hats there. Hopefully, they change their mind and need you guys back. Would
Yeah.
you ever go back to making hats for them?
Nope. Like I said, 100% respect. I got love for all of them. Ben, Dabby, like I said, John, Justin, all of them. Like I'm cool with all of them. We're good. We're good. But as far as going back to them, nah. I think the good thing about what happened is it pushed me to kind of go in the direction that I wanted to go, and I got to give them at least props for that, right? But going back to them and nah.
I spilled on my water.
You yourself? Okay. Okay. When you pull up Dankadelic page, you know what I'm saying, and you start reading the profile, it's a little phrase right there at the bottom, and I love it. Ain't no gods in my squad. I love that. Uh, when you say that, what do you pertain into? You know what I'm saying? It was like, what you mean when you say that? I know what you mean, but what you mean?
Um, I have a tendency to deal with people that have my same mentality.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the angels with dirty wings. I mean, there's no such thing. I think too many people call themselves God, right? Like
Yeah.
they're God in this and God in that. It's like I said, there ain't no gods in my squad, only devils in my circle. Like that's legit.
Mm,
That I only deal with people that are like me.
mm. I like that. I like that. And that also brings me to the other one when you say it. Well, we ain't gonna say the post where you say uh, uh, your enemies are not strangers. I felt that. How'd it go? I got it wrote down. How'd it go? Here you go. Be careful because your enemies are not strangers.
Yeah,
You
man.
know what I mean? Coming where I come from, down here in Decatur, Alabama, down south over here, nasty, dirty south. I understand that so completely. You know what I mean? You ain't got to elaborate on that. I just want you to know I felt that like if pound right now, pound, like I felt that. You know what I mean? And I can tell that to post something like that you done probably been through some stuff where you had to wash your hands clean of some stuff in order to keep on going forward. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
absolutely.
So, yes, sir.
Yeah,
I wanted to just point that out.
yeah. There's you got to watch who your real friends are. You know what I mean? And even your family, they ain't your friends. So I think
Woo.
everybody's learned that lesson one way or another, right? Whether you're dealing with your family or your friends. So I
Back.
I run into that quite often. So you know you
It gets
I
me.
think I posted
Go
something
ahead.
else where you get more support from people that don't know you than people that do know you.
You know what I'm saying?
And
When
that's
I met Chef, Mr. Dank. I thought that he was going straight. Nah, man, I don't want to talk to you. You just trying to just, be on. You know what I mean? Because when I first met Chef, I wanted to interview him. That's how I got cool with the hat community, fitted insider and him. That's what and Sean Stay Fitted. That's where it started there for me.
yeah.
Where I met Chef, and Chef was like, "Yo, man," and then he mentioned, "Yo, man, why don't we team up? Why don't we do a little tag team and do this together?" It's people that stay next door to me, Mr. Dunkadelic, that that I can loan them $5 and they forget I gave it to them. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Right.
So what you saying is exactly right, sir.
Yeah. I mean, I get, I get more love from you guys and people in the community than I do from people that are close to me, or
That's
what you consider close to you. They don't repost your shit. They don't they don't do any of that stuff. They you're just there. But I have people that that have bought my hats that are reposting it, throwing the company up there. You know what I mean? Um, you just, the love is more real from people I don't know, that I've never met, that I've never talked to.
Yeah, that's
man.
always something I realized that over these last few years, and I realized it even more joining this fitted community, that like how you just said, strangers love you more than your own blood.
Yeah,
Uh,
sure,
it's a
100.
tr- actually see it, like actually see the realness of how that works. Um, because I always thought family was everything, or like close friends. I do have some close friends that post my stuff, and uh, but just the whole family to strangers thing, that's that trips me out. Like, how could your own family not support you as much as someone who lives in Canada or fucking hours away from you? Like, it's just it's crazy to
It
me.
it is crazy, man. And I've sold hats. I was really surprised that I've sent hats to England. I've sent hats to the Middle East. Like, that's insane to me, that people out there are just seeing my stuff and being like, "Hey, that's different. I want to cop that." You know what I mean? But that's like the love and the respect that I'm talking about. It's not about me. It's about like what I do, and
Yeah.
that's really important. I think it's important to find like-minded people, regardless of what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Cook.
Um, let's see. Um, when it comes to the biggest influences, I also read, Arizona, low riders. I had mispronounced that word. How do you say it? Mashik.
Michigan,
It look, yes, that. And then the other word, I don't want to say it right.
oh,
Astellan,
That's one.
Aslan.
Aslan,
Yeah,
were some of your biggest influences at those times. What about now?
same, man.
Same. Gotcha.
It just
Gotcha.
it's gotten more in depth. You know what I mean? Like, everything is more in depth, and um, it's all the same stuff, but it's like I said, with the internet, it opens your eyes to so many things, good and bad. So I try to pick the good instead of the bad, but it's
Okay.
pretty much the same stuff. And my family, my wife, my kids,
Your
that's
Yes, sir.
it.
that's your son, right? The one I
Yeah,
just
that's my
pinned. Yeah,
yeah.
he's all over.
He's a fool, man.
That was funny.
Oh boy. Hey,
Nope.
hey, I was gonna say I enjoy learning, you know what I mean? So like I be trying to like I'm a brother that I like to learn, you know what I mean? So anything that y'all tell me or teach me about the heritage, just believe that I try to do my research and learn because, you know what I mean, it's just for me it's just natural. Like I like learning about stuff that I don't know about,
Right.
especially when I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying, the black and the brown. You know what I'm saying? I look at us as the same because we brown. Like me, I feel like I'm brown. Like this black what I got on, I'm brown. Even though they say I'm brown, and you know what I mean. So it's like I'm always interested. I'm always wanting to get to know, and I'm always trying to learn. So you know what I'm saying. I also want to say thank you for the stuff that you put in your profile because it ain't just reading about you, but you can learn too. So I just want to say that.
Yeah, and I'm always learning. I don't know everything about culture. Like, it's always ongoing. Like, I'm forever learning. You know, um, I do my best. I follow a lot of, other pages as well, and um, to try to pick up some things that I don't know about, because nobody knows 100% about one subject, right? So you have to be open and learning about that, and also learning about other cultures, because you just can't pigeonhole yourself and, oh, this is my culture and this is where I'm going to be. You have to know it all, and you have to be open to it all, whether you like it or you don't. I think as a person, you need to understand that not everybody's the same. We can all have our opinions about things, right? But like, you have to love other people. It doesn't matter what their sexual orientation is, what color they are, where they come from. Like, you have to be open to those people and embrace them, because interspersed throughout our cultures collectively, right? You have all these people, and they were all accepted before. This whole separating people, this is a new thing. This is not something that has been around since the beginning of time. I mean, there have always been tribes, and there's always been conflict between tribes, but at the end of the day, I think there's always a mutual respect, and that shit's lost, to be honest with you.
Yes, sir. I agree.
I have a question that's kind of totally off the subject.
Yeah, of course.
Mexican heritage. Do you love Mexican food, or what's your favorite food?
Well,
I just have to.
It's Mexican food first, right? I mean, that's what I grew up. That's a staple, I'm a beans and tortilla guy, like, to the end. You know what I mean? But no, I mean, I like all kinds of food. But yeah, Mexican number one.
Right now.
Any soul food in the mix?
So I'm gonna say Arizona is not really big on soul food. There's, the culture not as thick out here. So maybe one day when I make it to the South, I have to really try it.
All right, we got some fried chicken, cornbread. We be waiting on you. Come on.
Good with all that, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
Ready to wrap up, or you have a few questions?
I can answer some more questions.
Oh, yeah, whenever, you know what I mean?
Still good on time, Cooks?
Yeah, I got two more questions I'd like to throw in there right quick. I'm a big comic book fan, and I'm a comic book collector, Mr. Dankadelic.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned The Last Ronin
Mm-hmm.
in one of your stuff you were saying. So I was just wondering, one, are you into comic books? And two, what's TMNT? Is that one of your favorite, or the favorite?
Now, I'm not into comics like I used to be when I was growing up.
Okay.
But, Frank Miller, he did a lot of Batman stuff. He did Ronin. His art was really, like, influential on me, like that dark side. You know what I mean? Like, dark Batman. But I grew up with before the cartoon for the Ninja Turtles, the OG Ninja Turtles that were all blood and killing and shit like that. Yeah. I have a lot of those comics. I still have those comics put away. So I have, I have like, I have a couple of the reissues, like number 1, 2, and 3, I think have reissues. So they're not worth as much, but I have like original, like 4, 5, 6, 7, I think all the way to like 20. I have all first.
Man. The one with all on wore the red mask, right?
Red, yeah, they didn't wear different colors. And then
yes.
So I have some of those. I have like Secret Wars with the Marvel, like it was all them. I have that.
Oh my God.
Old volumes. I got a lot of old stuff. Recently I sold the first appearance of Wolverine. I had that Hulk. I think it was Hulk 183. I sold that a few years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah. I mean, I'm not as much now into that stuff, but I do have most of my comics still.
That's a big man. What you did, them books you talking about, like that, like some of my friends on this comic book side, they would be going crazy right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all they know. You know what I'm saying? It's all they talk about. It's all they know. They getting stuff graded. They selling it. They got the whatnot stuff going on now, online sales. So I just wanted to ask because when you mentioned Last Ronin, because to me, Last Ronin is for me that was the best comic series last year for me.
Yeah,
Period. Like they could make a movie out of it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, comic books are, I think that's part of the art. That's always captivated me. It was more of the drawings and the stories, but yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Since you're an artist, um, have you ever thought about making your own type of comic books or anything like that?
No, not really. I mean, I don't have that comic book kind of style, quote unquote style. But I have a cousin, a younger cousin, that he's written a book or a script because trying to be a filmmaker, and I'm trying to talk him into letting me draw his script and turn it into a graphic novel. So
Ooh.
if he allows me to do that, that'll be the first. But yeah, I'd love to do that for him. And
That's what I was kind of thinking right now. You know, someone with what
Oh.
you uh, growing up with really heavy Mexican culture
yeah,
and doing the whole graffiti, doing the whole shout out to everyone who's joining the whole graffiti, um, your drawings, and really inspired by the Mexican heritage. Um, if you were to create a book about how you grew up and your life, that would be pretty dope. Because we need more things. I feel like we need more things like that for our younger generation because I really feel like Mexican culture is lost.
yeah. Well, it's underrepresented. That's the
Yeah,
first thing. It's underrepresented.
yeah. You get all these. I mean, I feel like I'm saying this because this is what I feel. I feel like everybody wants to be white. I don't know. I don't mean that in any type of racist way, but I just feel like everyone like nobody speaks Spanish anymore.
Yeah,
Uh,
and tough. I mean, look, I'm gonna tell you, my Spanish isn't the greatest, but I'm also third generation, right? Like my second generation, kind of really more like it. My grandparents, is split. Two of them were born in Mexico. Two of them were born in the United States. So, I'm like second, third generation. I can speak Spanish. When my grandparents were alive, that's how I communicated with them. But it's not my first language either. And I wasn't very good about teaching my kids that because my daily interaction with work and school and those things is all in English. Also, Arizona was really strict. I talked to my mom and to some of my older family members, and they used to get spanked for speaking Spanish in school. So, you you have to think about the impact that has on people, right, and the culture, because you couldn't even speak your native language because it was looked down upon. So, I don't think it's the fault so much of parents or people not having the culture. I think it's just society has evolved so much. I mean, the internet has kind of not helped, it's kind of taken people away from learning about who they are, and all I can do, like what I try to do for my children is I try to introduce them to their heritage, what was a part of their culture that they should carry on, and if they decide to have kids, that they would teach them to carry on. But I kind of look at personally, like I'm trying to learn, Nahuatl and some of the other languages, the Uto-Aztecan languages, to kind of just have an idea. And it's not that I want to speak it fluently. I just want to have that knowledge of it.
yeah, that's really upsetting. I heard about them that people used to do that, but that just upsets me that that they had to go through that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I'm shocked.
Well, especially in Arizona, right? So,
yeah.
Like I'm like, see that's another learning experience for me because people over here in Alabama and Tennessee would never know that. You know, Georgia, Mississippi, we would never know that. You know what I mean? Like over here, all we think about when we see here in Arizona, we think Route 66 is hot, it's deserts. It's that's all we know. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Phoenix Suns, you know, Diamondbacks, that's all we know. But like but then when this type of stuff happens, I could be somebody that could be like, hey, this something you ain't know about Arizona right here. You know what I'm saying? Like I got this information from a very valuable source. You know what I mean? Like, so thank you for teaching me something, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah, of course.
Go ahead, Cookie.
I pretty much asked him everything I want to ask because what I didn't ask, he already answered it with together. You know what I'm saying? If there's anything else I could ask you is, your favorite baseball team and why?
So, as everybody knows, there was no baseball team in Arizona till what was it, '98. So I'm a Dodger fan.
All right.
I'm a Dodger fan. Always have been. My grandfather's a Dodger fan. I'm a Dodger fan. My kids are Dodger fans. So, yeah, I can't leave them. I know people are like, man, you live in Arizona, or why do you like the Dodgers? It's just like football. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. There was no football team out here till 1987. That was when the Cardinals came. I was 12 already. Like, you don't switch teams. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ooh, well, when football season starts, me and you gonna be going there because I'm an Eagle. So we already bumping heads.
Right.
I have one last thing, and then I'll ask you the last thing. Do you have any sneak peeks that you can show us? If not, I understand. I know some people that's like real teeth grinding, but uh, if you have, or if you could speak on anything, I know you told us a little bit earlier, but do you have anything you could show possibly?
I'll show it. I'll show it real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab some of the hats that I've done in the past and show those, and I'll just sneak this one in real super fast. So if
All right.
you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, you're gonna have to wait till next month when it comes out. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I hope everybody enjoying the interview. You know what I mean? Chef and Dreams, the host. I'm the co-host. I hope y'all enjoying it. Love the community. I love learning about brown fried. I love it. Keep teaching me. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
This is a good one.
Yeah, man, for real. We talking with Dankadelic. Dankadelic.
Those are his pins on there too.
No, I found these at the $5 store. I just feel they match.
All right. So here's some of the. So this one, this is the Revolutionary. This is the original one.
I'm sorry.
OG. That's that OG
So
right there.
this was only released in this colorway. The Skull Revolutionary was released, I think, in 3 or 4 colorways.
Okay.
Here's the original Revolutionary Skull. That's the colorway. So it was kind of a reverse of that one. The first hat released through Hat Club, Rain God.
Rain God.
Oh, yeah.
I love that.
Yep. And then here's the one that you're wearing, but it's in the scarlet colorway. Yeah. And then
I love the.
real quick sneak peek. This is real fast.
Ooh.
That's it. That's all you're getting.
Ooh, you saw it. You saw it here first.
So,
I love that.
and they're gonna coming. Just so everyone knows, I'm probably gonna release Salon All Stars again on a different colorway. That'll be probably June-ish, somewhere, maybe July.
Those are fire.
Very fire.
I've before I started collecting, I wasn't really into like the different logos, but now that I'm more like my collection is a little bit deeper than what it was when I first started. I'm starting to buy really like has the colors and things I like, and I'm gonna start doing like minor league baseball, some of the design collectives. So I'm trying to figure out when you drop them. I hope I can hit you up and be like, I need a few.
So
You know?
these are still available on the site. So I
All right.
still have these on the site. They're still, I have
Yes.
sizes still. The middle sizes from 7 1/8 to 7 5/8 are pretty much going pretty quickly, but these are
Mm-hmm.
there. So again, and if anyone wants to follow me, you can follow me at Black Hill Co on the other Instagram page,
Oh yeah.
LCKHILLCO. And I always, when I get ready to drop a hat, it'll be posted on there. Everything's done through there mainly. Dankadelic's my personal page, but this is one where I have that. I have more followers here, so it's always, this account is always going to hype my business one.
Okay. Well,
Um.
I know we're gonna do our part with sharing, and you know what I'm saying, making sure people that don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just so everyone knows, these hats, they're a little softer, right? They don't hold like a New Era, but these hats are 20% wool and
Mm.
percent polyester acrylic. So they're a little bit more comfortable. They're not as rigid, not as stiff as everything that's being released right now through New Era, which is 100% polyester. These breathe a little bit more, and they're a little bit more comfortable and form to your head a little bit better. So,
Okay.
Buddy who's in here right now, FY and Brims, he I remember going to his house, and him and his wife are really into the heritage, like that design you have. I remember seeing something like, not that, but something like that uh, hanging on their wall. So he's most likely going to be hitting you up and trying to get some fits from you.
that's
Uh,
Hmm.
but I want to go ahead and finish it off with, do you have any advice for people trying to get into the design collective? And do you have any advice for the Raza?
So for people trying to design and do hat club stuff, remember, logos always look different on hats. Simpler is better, because you start losing some of the quality. I mean, you see that in some of the side patches that come across,
Oh yeah.
right, on New Era and MLB hats. Simplicity is key. I mean, you can get a little crazy, but simplicity is really important. Keep that in mind, and then learn. I say learn Illustrator. It's important, because when you're creating your tech pack, it's easier to do that. It's easier to make adjustments, kind of play around and stuff like that. That's just my opinion. That's what I use. And as far as our people, man, just support each other, no matter what it is, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a small clothing company, support each other.
That's right.
That's it. That's it. He answered my question. I was gonna ask the same thing. As far as any little positive information that you could give a podcast like me and a podcast like Chef, because we both have our own separate channels, and then we do this together.
Yeah.
And seeing what you do and reading about you, and then you saying it, it's very inspiring, Mr. Dankadelic. Plus, I met the person that made this hat, so I'm like happy, satisfied, excited. You know what I mean? Thankful, and thank you, sir, for what you do, and keep on doing it, because we're gonna keep on collecting. You know what I mean?
Thank you guys for taking a little over an hour to talk to me, and I can't thank you enough. I mean, like I said, doesn't matter if you have 10,000 followers, 40,000 followers, uh, 20 followers. It's all important, and I mean, these are the type of shows that we should be supporting.
Yep.
So I appreciate.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank
We
you.
appreciate you, boss, and we'll be in touch pretty soon. Nothing but love and support from our end. I can't wait to see what you have in the future for us, and I hope it's I hope your designs bring endless opportunity for you, and
Thank
a lot of us are going to be really, and I'm going to be really looking forward to seeing what you drop, so I can pick what I want out of it. Not what I want, but
Yeah.
for the future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
uh,
guys, thank you. And thank you for
You got it.
words. And last thing I want to say before I cut out is Black Hill Co. Is the page. But the more hats that I can sell, the more stuff I can put out, because this is all funded by me. All my money, nobody's doing it but myself and my wife and I, and we're trying to get this thing off the ground. But it's important because it's twofold, right? It's letting people know what our culture is about, and it's a small business. So
that's well, we'll definitely. I'm going to be looking into my heritage a lot more because of you now. Because
Mm-hmm.
speak on it, your designs, it really motivates me to really dig deeper into my heritage, and I appreciate you, and we thank you for joining us, and
Yes, sir.
talking soon.
all right, sounds
You
good.
know what I mean?
Both.
Dankadelic, y'all. Dankadelic.
Take care, boss.
All right, have a good one.
Peace out. Me. Yo, Chef. Great
Yep.
show, man. Glad we could tag team on this one and drop the elbows on it. We did a good job. You know what I'm saying? Thanks everybody, and little Dankadelic in there. But nice meeting you, bro. You know what I'm saying? The son Dankadelic.
Yep.
Everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Chef, that's my brother. He big brother, I'm little brother. You know what I'm saying? We up in here now. I'm finna channel 6 Chick. I'm finna go to my channel. Me and her got an interview going. That's TMT Fangirl. So if any of y'all out there is into collecting comics, Funko Pops, anything, or you want to see a mom or three, how she do it, you know what I'm saying? Y'all come check me out. Follow Chef and Brims if you don't. Follow Always cookz24 if you don't. Other than that, we're going to do this again. Chef, thank you, man. I love you, bro. That's my brother right there. Brown pride, black pride all day, baby. You already know. We in here. We ain't going nowhere. Peace out, man. I'm gonna hit you back. I'm gonna hit you back in the DMs later on.
All right, G.
All right.
Hell yeah. Thank you guys for joining. That was mine and Cook's live podcast. Shout out Dankadelic. Shout out to everyone who joined. Remember, we got 5950 problems, but fitteds ain't one. Peace.